Hey, hello and welcome back to another video. I've got another plan with you. This time we're doing October, so let's dive right in. Okay then, so before we get into the October plan with me, let's take a look and see how September turned out. It is, I don't even know what the date is today, like the 26th maybe? Yeah, the 26th. So there's still a little bit, and there's actually some stuff that I haven't filled in yet for today either, or indeed for possibly yesterday. But there you have the monthly spread. So with this tracking, I was on holiday for a week. I was away for a week and I didn't take my journal with me, and then actually just totally didn't get back into it. So the tracking really hasn't panned out at all this month, and I probably should have thought about that and actually taken it with me, but never mind. So there you go, there is my ongoing task list. And then there's a couple of like the daily stuff. I spilled some water, and my packing list for when we travelled, and then I've got this for this weekend, this for this week, and you can see I haven't actually been back on here to do yesterday or today, and I've got an extra page here for next week if I want to use it. If I don't need to use the whole thing, then I will fill it out with something else, or fill in the gaps with something else. So that brings us then on to October. So let's get started. Before I do, I just want to talk you through, I've got 3 of the Pigma Micron pens here. I've got the 0802 and 005. This will probably be sufficient, obviously. You don't generally need loads and loads and loads of those. The colour scheme for this month is kind of like, because October is sort of generally a bit kind of Halloween-y, and I'm kind of going with that sort of, not that sort of thing, but I'm going with a sort of Halloween-y, magicky sort of theme. I have here can't even count, 4 of the Tombow dual tip markers. So I've got 569, 679, 603 and N60. N60 is a cool grey, but it's actually got a slightly sort of lilac-y tint to it, so it actually works really nicely with the purples. So we've got those for colours, and then I don't know if I'm going to use it or not. I also have my Tombow Food Nosegay. This is the hard to tip brush pen. It's like a small tip pen, so I might use that as well if there's any kind of like smaller brush lettering that I decide I want to do. Yeah, let's get started. Okay, so we're all done with the kind of like drawing out the bones of this theme, this month's theme. But you'll notice that actually there's a lot of white space, and really the only things I've done is drawn out the grids and done the headers and stuff, and that it still looks a bit bare. And the reason why is because this month's theme, I've decided to do something that is a bit different. This is my like inspiration book, if you like, and this is where I'm collecting like fonts and trying things out and stuff. And this was inspired by a header page that was done by somebody called @BujoDani on Instagram. I found it, I think, on Pinterest or somewhere like that. So obviously it's not the same, but it's very much inspired by. I really liked what she did. She had like the month, I think it was November actually, but she had like the month in the middle and then did all these kind of doodles and stuff all around them, and I really liked how it looked. So I've tried that out in here, and I'm really pleased with the kind of general aesthetic of it. So this is what we're going to do, is basically I'm probably not going to do them in black because obviously I've outlined my grids and stuff in black, but I thought what I could do is doodle these out with one of the darker colours in my colour palette, and then if they need outlining then I can outline, and then do some of like the fill-in stuff with the lighter colours, and hopefully that will work. It's obviously not, strictly speaking, something that I've tested out, so it might not work, it might not pan out, but we'll give it a go. But I really like this aesthetic, so I'm going to keep this to the side of me, so that I've got that there for a bit of reference, and then draw out some doodles and stuff and finish off the rest of these spreads. The other thing to mention as well is that I might come back with a white gel pen and do some additional kind of highlighting and stuff on the headers, but I've left my white gel pen downstairs and I don't want to go and get it. It's actually currently about 7:20 in the evening, and I'm going to need to stop in a minute and go and get tea, dinner, for those of you that aren't in the northwest. I need to get the food started cooking, otherwise we will go very hungry tonight. So I'm actually going to stop there and go and start dinner and then come back, and I've got lots of artificial light, so it's why the shadows are quite hard and the lighting's a bit weird for this video, but I think it's kind of working. It looks okay on the camera at the moment, so yeah, I will go and do what I need to do to get food going, and then come back and carry on with this a little bit. Okay then, so that is done. Let's do the things that we need to do. So one of the things that obviously you may have noticed, and I mentioned it as well, is that I didn't keep up with my like habit tracking kind of dealy in September. So I have changed it a bit. And one of the things that I found was that when I did really well, I was quite happy. Like when I managed to tick off lots of things and what have you, I was really happy. But when I didn't, when I had a bad day, and that might not necessarily have been something that was within my control either. But if I had a bad day and didn't tick off as many things or whatever, that I then felt like really bad, and I kind of used it as a way to beat myself up, which, you know, is not the point. So I decided that for the next few months at least, I am not going to do that. So I'm not going to score any of these things. I'm not going to count them up. I'm just going to use it as it's intended, as like a way to just try and encourage myself to just do a bit better on certain habits and activities and all the rest of it. And I'll probably do that, keep that going for like the next sort of 3 months, because I kind of feel like you've got to try things out for a fairly long period of time. You know, like you can't just do something for like 1 month and see how it goes necessarily, because you're not necessarily giving something like a fair shot. Does that even make sense? I have no idea. So I thought that I would try something different. So I'm not scoring, I'm just tracking, and I'm hoping that will feel a bit better, and that I then won't use that as a way to kind of beat myself up. And you know, it's one of those things, with any of these things, you've got to think about, you know, why are you, or why would you want to track your habits? Why would you want to track your mood and all that kind of thing? And it's kind of like, well, if the aim is to improve something or make a change, and ultimately you end up not making that change because instead of it being a motivator, you end up, like I say, kind of beating yourself up over like not doing the things that you've said you're going to do or whatever. Well, that's not effective, is it? So yeah, that was kind of my thinking, was that maybe if I just kind of changed my approach a little bit, that you know, it wasn't working for me before, and maybe this would work a bit better. So that's why I've changed this kind of like health tracking. So instead of it being about like it's my health tracker, I have turned it very much more into you know, just rather than doing all of that scoring and what have you, it is just about tracking. It's just about seeing how often I do something or not, as the case may be. And I don't know if that makes sense to anybody else. It's certainly, I'm hoping that will work better for me anyway. Now with this page, because I've got these kind of little doodles down the side here, I don't want to carry on this sort of kind of doodly thing that I'm doing. So I'm just going to use a little bit of colour, bring the colour down here into these doodles just to kind of tie them together. But I'm not going to like add loads more stuff down here. We'll keep the doodly stuff in the header, so to speak. So So the habits that I've got here, the things that I want to monitor or keep an eye on, I've got 8 hours of sleep, daily walk. This is pelvic floor exercises. There's an app called Squeezy. It's an NHS app. You do have to pay for it, but it's very good. This is my monitoring my water intake. I normally aim to drink 1.5 litres of water every day, and then what's the word? The extra half litre, because you should drink about 2 litres of water, of fluids, and the extra comes from like other foods, not foods, other drinks. I am almost completely decaffeinated now. I don't drink a lot of tea anyway, and most of the time the coffee that I drink is decaffeinated. Then you've got 3 meals a day, basically just 3 meals a day, but also avoiding snacks. So instead of it being like 4 meals a day or 3 meals plus snacks, what I'm trying to do is just do 3 meals. This is 5 portions of fruit and vegetables, protein at every meal, and bed by 10:30. And these are the things that I think are good habits that should support my personal well-being over the next sort of 3 months, hopefully. And yeah, so that's basically what I've chosen, and I think that I'm hoping that will work well for me. And then we've just got this final page, and then obviously I will have my daily pages. And what I'm thinking of doing is, obviously with these pages, this is the only one that I've done any other doodles on. Just the rest of them, obviously I've just done the kind of squiggles and stars and little sparkles and stuff. So what I thought was on the day-to-day stuff, where there's likely to be a bit more white space. So like there's not really a lot of white space on these kinds of pages, these ones. And on this one, like I say, I don't want to confuse the doodles, so to speak, so I'll just keep it in the header area. So hopefully this will, what I'll be able to do is do more of the kind of doodle stuff in between, like the to-do lists. That's what I'm kind of intending anyway, and I think that will work quite well. And that should be us pretty much done. All that remains is for me to go through and actually fill in all of my events and what have you. So we've got the monthly spread, and like I say, I may come back and put some white gel pen in the headers and to make them pop a little bit, and possibly might do some drop shadow, we'll see. But all I really need to do now is fill in all of my events and stuff. You've got the menu. So if you recall, the way that I use the menu is that it's not like a meal tracker, it's just a list of the things that I have available to make. So obviously I do my shopping about once a week, and then list out all of the meals that I could make, and then use that as a something to pick from, so that I kind of work through them each day. It's just because I can't keep track of what I've got in my freezer and in my cupboards if I don't write it down. So not a meal planner, not like a menu planner, but actually the meals that are available for us to eat each day. Then I've got my habit tracker, and I am literally just going to put a coloured blob, probably a coloured blob in each space basically, so you can see I've got all the spaces drawn out per day. So I don't need to put like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday or anything on here. I don't need to date them, just stick a blob in, because the idea is just to kind of have a visual representation of how well I'm doing with these habits. And then finally my master task list. So when I get to actually into the month, then I will start listing out the things that I want to do each week, and then obviously do those on my daily pages. And then we'll come back in November or at the end of October, and I will show you how we got on and show you hopefully lots of wonderful doodles as well. So that is it for this month. I really appreciate you spending the time with me. I hope that you've enjoyed it, you've taken some inspiration. Drop me some comments below, let me know how you're doing, how your September went, what your October looks like, how busy you're going to be, and all that kind of thing. Let's chat, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks so much for spending your time, I really appreciate it, and I will catch you next time. Bye!